Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and I know it's been a long time since I've done one. I think it's been over a month at this point. But the reason for that is, honestly, I really haven't felt like doing YouTube videos. I mean, I've had a few topics to discuss, like The Legend of Korra Book 3's premiere, and a couple of others, but I really didn't feel like doing them. I was just sort of burned out on the whole YouTube thing after spending so many months doing it, but now I'm starting to feel a bit more re-energized about the whole thing. And today I wanted to discuss comic book conspiracy theorists. Comic book conspiracy theorists are kind of like traditional conspiracy theorists, where if let's say the government does a new bill where they um, try to lower the amount of gun control, and then conspiracy theorists are just going to tell you, oh, this is a part of the Illuminati's. This is the next stage of the Illuminati's plan where they're gonna, I don't know, get more money from somehow limiting the sales of guns. Like I really didn't think that analogy through, but that's basically what it is. It's basically looking at any decision someone makes and just thinking it's not what it really seems like, and it's just part of this big plan to take over the world or push your own sort of agenda forward. And while this can be true at some points, I feel that comic book fans kind of take this to a big extreme. I would even so far as to say this is kind of a disease in the comic book fandom, where anything anyone does to a character is immediately seen with huge amounts of not huge amounts of scrutiny. It varies, but even if you make something as minute as like a small costume adjustment, or have something happen to the character, have a character do something, people are immediately going to analyze the shit out of it and try to say, well, this is DC's next step in ruining Wonder Woman or something, or they're going to say this is Marvel's next step in ruining Cyclops. And now, ruining is a very subjective term because personally I like the direction Cyclops has gone, and considering the fact this direction for him has been built up for the past over 15 years, ever since like the Apocalypse arc in the 90s where he and Apocalypse were fused, that was really the point where Cyclops was starting to become the person he is today, and Grant Morrison sort of built off of that idea. So I really think that this is character development more than anything, but at the same time, some people think it is just Marvel hating on a character and wanting to destroy him. Personally, I don't see it that way. I see it kind of. I see Dan DiDio's attempt to kill Nightwing in Infinite Crisis more than that. For those of you who don't know, in the 2006 DC Mega event, Nightwing was supposed to die, and then Dio was really adamant about killing him, but Jeff Johns stopped him. And some people like to joke that he was supposed to die in Forever Evil. I don't really think so because of that Batman Eternal teaser that showed him with his kind of new appearance as the secret agent. So I don't think that him dying was ever on the cards for Forever Evil. But I'm kind of getting off point here. You get my point. When a company does something to an established character from either DC or Marvel, people usually like to analyze the shit out of it and try to find the reasoning for it. And usually this can lead to scrutiny from various degrees. Sometimes you'll get a couple of people saying, well, I just don't think this is. I think DC's trying to streamline, I don't know, Superman's costume too much. I don't see what the problem was with doing that. And then that's kind of normal level scrutiny. I'm fine with that. But then it's the conspiracy theorists who really just blow my mind. It's almost amazing, this type of shit they come up with. It's borderline fan fiction. Like, um, a great example of this is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the poster child for for this kind of shit because while Wonder Woman has great significance, I will admit this. Wonder Woman is not just the embodiment of female strength, compassion, beauty, and love. In some respects, I consider her to be the embodiment of what's best in people in general. And when you have a character like that who embodies so many good qualities and stuff, when you have her make a mistake or make her do something that's not morally sound, I guess, you're gonna meet a lot of scrutiny. This is what happens to Superman a lot, and I already did a video on that. But Wonder Woman gets infinitely more shit than anyone else. Like, if you try to change anything about Diana or have her do anything that's not pitch perfect, you're going to get people who are just going to create these whole big conspiracy theories where they're just going to say, oh, well, DC's trying to bastardize Wonder Woman and destroy the character. This happened to her in the big mainstream media. This happened twice when they tried to give her pants. When the JMS redesign was revealed back in, I believe it was 2010, everyone threw a hissy fit over the fact that Wonder Woman was getting pants. Yes, people threw a hissy fit over the fact that a character who's supposed to be the poster child for female superheroes in comic books in general, who usually gets really over sexualized, is getting a pants, which make it harder for her to be over sexualized. And I just saw posts all over the internet saying, well, of course it took a man to ruin Wonder Woman. And that kind of shit just really blows my mind, because I already gave you my reasoning for why I think giving her pants is a good idea. And this happened at the beginning of New 52 as well, when they were going to have her have pants. And this is true. You can find early New 52 teasers by Jim Lee where you can clearly see that she was supposed to have pants. But then the fans threw a fucking hissy fit over that and said, oh, this is DC's next step in bastardizing and raping Wonder Woman. DC was forced to get rid of the pants. And yeah, well, you basically get my point. I'm sorry, my brain just sort of farted. I only woke up a couple of minutes ago, so my brain's still not 100% capacity, but you get the idea. When I'm really kind of sick of these comic book conspiracy theorists, because not everything is a thing. Not every change, not every alteration, not every decision by a writer or a company to a character is their thing, is like a big of their... Sorry, I apologize. I really apologize. My brain's not really working that well. It's not everything a company does to a character. It's not part of some big conspiracy where they're trying to ruin your character. They're not trying to destroy your character. And now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, DC, with the way New 52 is, DC must be trying to destroy their characters. No, I think that DC's problem... First of all, DC would not, no company would ever want to destroy their properties, because that's why they get money off of. When your property is good and has people saying good things about it, people are going to buy it. There is literally no fucking reason for why any company would intentionally want to destroy something that is helping them make money. It makes no fucking sense. Now, sometimes that can happen unintentionally. Sometimes, disasters can happen or bad people are put in charge of things, and that's kind of what happened in DC New 52. They put stupid people on positions they shouldn't have been put in, and they inadvertently fucked up a lot of stuff. But I just want to say that not everything is a big conspiracy, guys. You don't have to overanalyze everything that is done to a character to the point where you create borderline fan fiction about how DC letting Wonder Woman be punched by a man, or like the firstborn, is the next step in their master plan to take over the world somehow. And I know I'm exaggerating, but I just think that this is really bizarre, and it goes even further when you put politics into it. And what I mean by this is they try to make everything sort of a political agenda. And again, Wonder Woman suffers from this a lot. It really, really does. Like, a lot of people were giving Brian Azzarello shit for the fact that the Amazons are rapists in the New 52. Every 30 years they go around, they, rape men, have children with them, then kill the men and send their male offspring to Hephaestus. And a lot of people threw shit over that because they said that, oh, DC hates strong, independent women, and thinks that all strong, independent women are rapists. And that's kind of, again, Wonder Woman is the poster child for this shit, because if you do anything to her or her mythology, you're just going to get a shitload of hate and a shitload of political bullshit that it's just not there. And really, I gotta say, I'm sick of it. I know I may not have put my point across as best as I should have, but I think you understand my point. Not everything that a company or a creator does to a character is the next step in their destruction or whatever, or the master plan in their destruction. Because honestly, no company wants to succeed would want to destroy its property. Sometimes, it happens because it just happens. Some things just don't work out for whatever reason, or they just put in some bad people in charge of things they shouldn't be in charge of, and that it leads to problems. But there is no such thing as a company that wants to honestly destroy a possible source of revenue for themselves. That's just bad business. And at the end of the day, the big two are a business. That's what they're there for. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about how you feel about them or what they're doing to their books. The only thing they give a shit about is making money, and if pandering to you gets them more money, they're going to do that. But not everything is a big conspiracy, guys. You don't have to overanalyze every little alteration or change or stuff as like some kind of big project to destroy something you love. That's just not usually the case. I mean, there are writers who dislike a character and just want to see them gone. I said Dan DiDio. Um, but you get my point. Not everything is that. You shouldn't view everything as like this big sort of conspiracy, and if you try to put that out in conversation, you're just gonna look like a borderline fucking lunatic who just thinks that the Illuminati are just trying to destroy Batman, Cyclops, the X-Men, and all that sort of stuff, when you're just probably cuckoo puffs batshit nuts.